Assalamu alaikum, students. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. So last time we have discussed. Yeah, last time we have discussed the derivative of inverse hyperbolic functions. Last time we have discussed the derivative of inverse hyperbolic functions. So today we shall discuss the integral leading to inverse hyperbolic functions. So basically, in this table, we shall use the previous lecture, which is derivative of inverse hyperbolic functions, and also we shall use 4.7 and concept of antiderivatives. The concept of antiderivatives. So in this, it means whenever I have to find the integral of any function which is itself the derivative of some function, so we will use two things. One, the previous lecture, which was the derivative of inverse hyperbolic functions, at 4.7. So here you can see we have the integral of du divided by square root of a square minus a square plus u square. So if you know, in the last lecture we have discussed derivative of sine hyperbolic x. First of all, we have discussed sine hyperbolic inverse x. In the last class we have discussed derivative of sine hyperbolic inverse x. It is equal to what? We have discussed 1 divided by 1 plus x square. In the last class we have discussed the following: 1 divided by square root of 1 plus x square, square root of 1 plus x square. So this is derivative of sine hyperbolic inverse x. This is the derivative of sine hyperbolic inverse x. Now, yeah, if I want to find the integral of 1 divided by 1 plus x square dx, so what will be the answer? By the concept of 4.7. In 4.7, we have discussed the antiderivative. So if derivative of sine hyperbolic inverse x, it is equal to 1 divided by square root of 1 plus x square, then what will be the antiderivative of 1 divided by square root of 1 plus x square? It is equal to sine hyperbolic inverse x plus constant. Sine hyperbolic inverse x plus constant. So here you can see, in the first part we are finding the integral of 1 divided by square root of a square plus u square. So here we are doing the same thing. Here we are using 1. So on the place of 1, if we put a, so it will becomes 1 divided by a square plus x square. So for this case, it will becomes derivative of sine hyperbolic inverse x divided by a. So that is why we have here integral of, if we replace 1 with a and x with the u, then we get the following formula, which is 1. That is integral of uh, du divided by square root of a square plus u square. It is equal to sine hyperbolic inverse u divided by a plus constant. And here, what is the condition on a? A must be greater than 0. A must be greater than 0. A is not negative. A must be positive. A greater than 0. And in the last class, we have discussed the derivative of cosine hyperbolic inverse x. The derivative of cosine hyperbolic inverse x. If I write on the top, in the last class we have proved that d over dx of cosine hyperbolic inverse x, it is equal to 1 divided by square root of x square minus 1. 1 divided by square root of x square minus 1. So if we find the derivative of this, we get the following. Now if we have to find the antiderivative of 1 divided by square root of x square minus 1, so it is equal to cosine hyperbolic inverse x plus constant. So here if you see in the second part, so it is for the function in terms of u and a. So what it is, variable is u and the constant is any constant a. So here integral of du divided by square root of u square minus a square. Square root of u square minus a square, it is equal to cosine hyperbolic inverse u over a plus constant. So if we have a is equal to 1, we get the above this thing. It means integral of 1 over square root of x square minus 1, it is equal to cosine hyperbolic inverse x plus 1 by the concept of antiderivative method. By the concept of antiderivative method. So in the last class, we also discussed the derivative of tan hyperbolic inverse x and derivative of cotangent hyperbolic inverse. So here in the last class, we have discussed d over dx of tan hyperbolic inverse x. Derivative of tan hyperbolic inverse x, it is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus x square. And I asked you in the previous class that x square is less than 1. X square is less than 1. So here if we have to find the integral of, of 1 divided by 1 minus x square, the integral of this, if we have to find the integral of 1 divided by 1 minus x square, it is equal to tan hyperbolic inverse x plus constant. Tan hyperbolic inverse x plus constant. So here you can see the integral of 1 divided by a square minus u square, it is equal to 1 over a tan hyperbolic inverse u over a plus constant. So here if in the above question, in this way, if we take a is equal to 1, then integral of 1 over 1 minus x square, it is equal to tan hyperbolic inverse x. And x square is less than 1. In the next part, if we find out the integral of 1 over a square minus u square, it is equal to 1 over a cotangent hyperbolic inverse u over a plus constant. But for this case, we have the following condition, that is u square is greater than a square. So previously u x square is less than a square. That means x square is less than a square. So now u square is less than a square. Now u square is greater than a square. So here, if in this formula, if we replace a is equal to 1 and u is equal to x, so we get the above. We get the above. That is derivative of cotangent. Here I write here derivative of cotangent hyperbolic inverse x. It is same like the previous. Cotangent hyperbolic inverse x. It is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus x square. 1 divided by 1 minus x square. 1 divided by 1 minus x square. So derivative of cotangent hyperbolic inverse x, it is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus x square. We have just the change in the condition. If x square is less than 1, then it is tan hyperbolic inverse x. If x square is greater than 1, then it is cotangent hyperbolic inverse x. So in terms of u, and if we have the general constant, here we are specific constant which is 1. But if it is if the general constant, if we take any constant, so for this case, we have integral of 1 divided by a square minus u square with respect to u. It is equal to 1 over a tan hyperbolic inverse u over a plus constant, and with the condition that u square is less than a square. And similarly, integral of 1 over a square minus u square with respect to u, it is equal to 1 over a cotangent hyperbolic inverse u over a plus constant, and the main thing is the condition which is u square is greater than a square. In the next part, if you see, we have the fourth property which is actually the fifth. Here it is, uh, last time we have discussed the derivative of sec hyperbolic inverse x also. Here, derivative of sec hyperbolic, I write on the side. So derivative of sec hyperbolic inverse x. Sec hyperbolic inverse x. It is equal to what? It is equal to derivative of sec hyperbolic inverse minus 1 divided by x into square root of 1 minus x square. Square root of 1 minus x square. Now, if on the place of x we put u, if on the place of 1 if we have general a, so thus we get uh, integral of 1 over u square root of a square minus u square. Integral of 1 over u square root of a square minus u square. Now here you can see minus on the left side. So this minus change on the other side. So it means we can write in this way: derivative of minus sec hyperbolic inverse x, it is equal to 1 over x square root of 1 minus x square. So that is why you can see integral of 1 over u square root of a square minus u square, it is equal to minus 1 over a sec hyperbolic inverse into u over a plus constant. What is now u? U is between 0 and 1. U is greater than 0 but less than a. U is greater than 0 but less than a. And similarly, in the last class, we have discussed the derivative of cosec hyperbolic inverse x. Here I write on the left side. So d over dx of cosec hyperbolic inverse x. We have studied in the last class. So derivative of cosec hyperbolic inverse minus 1 divided by u, here a square plus absolute value of u square or x square, sorry, a square absolute value of, it means x minus 1 over x square root of a square plus absolute value of x square, it is equal to derivative of cosec hyperbolic inverse x. Here if we put here, this is 1. So now if we have to find the integral of minus 1 over x square root of 1 plus x square, it is equal to cosec hyperbolic inverse x. Cosec hyperbolic inverse x. I again repeat, uh, derivative of cosec hyperbolic inverse x, it is equal to minus 1 over x square root of 1 plus absolute value of x square. So if we have to find now integral of 1 over x square root of 1 plus x square, it is equal to cosec hyperbolic inverse x. So now in general way, the integral of 1 over u square root of a square plus u square du, it is equal to minus 1 over a cosec hyperbolic inverse u over a plus constant. Now what is u? U is not equal to 0 and a is any positive number. Now I give the example of these, anyone. So here you can see we have to evaluate the integral 2 dx divided by square root of 3 plus 4x square, 2 divided by 3 and 2 divided by square root of 3 plus 4x square. So we solve it by the substitution method. What is substitution method? It is equal to u. Let u is equal to 2x. Now what is now derivative of 2x? It is equal to 2. So du over dx, it is equal to 2. Du over dx, it is equal to 2. Thus we get du equal to 2 dx and a is equal to square root of 3, because if we take square root of 3 we get 3, so that is why we get the same. So thus the given integral in terms of u and a is the following. It is equal to du divided by square root of a square plus u square, square root of a square plus u square, whole square root. So that is why we use the first formula. What is the formula? Here it is equal to square root of 1 over square root of a square plus u square. So integral of this, it is equal to sine hyperbolic inverse u over a plus constant. So we now use the same condition here. So sine hyperbolic inverse u over a plus constant. Now what is u? U is equal to 2x. What is a? A is equal to square root of 3. U is equal to 2x. A is equal to square root of 3. Now we move to the next. Now we move to the next. It is if it is a definite integral. If we have the definite integral, what is definite integral? We have the integral from 0 to 1, 2 dx divided by 3 plus 4x square, 2 dx divided by square root of 3 plus 4x square. So the same, we get the answer sine hyperbolic inverse 2x divided by square root of 3. Now first we put upper limit which is 1. So sine hyperbolic inverse 2 over 3 square root of 3 minus sine hyperbolic inverse 0, which is equal to 0. So thus the answer is sine hyperbolic inverse 2 divided by square root of 3. So this is topic 7.7. This is our topic 7.7. So in this topic, I again repeat, we have discussed hyperbolic functions. Then we discuss the properties of the hyperbolic functions. So first we discuss hyperbolic functions, sine hyperbolic x, cosine hyperbolic x. So sine hyperbolic x, it is equal to e power x minus e power minus x divided by 2. Cosine hyperbolic x, e power x plus e power minus x divided by 2. So from these two, we got tan hyperbolic x, cotine hyperbolic x, sec hyperbolic x, cosec hyperbolic x. After this, we have discussed the properties of the hyperbolic functions. So first we have cosine square x, it is equal to 1. After that, we discuss sine hyperbolic 2x, it is equal to 2 sine hyperbolic x cosine hyperbolic x. We also discuss cosine hyperbolic square x plus sine hyperbolic square x, it is equal to cosine hyperbolic 2x. We also discuss the half angle property or half angle formula for the hyperbolic function. What is half angle formula? It is a sine hyperbolic square x equal to cosine hyperbolic 2x minus 1 divided by 2. If we have cosine hyperbolic square x, it is equal to cosine hyperbolic 2x plus 1 whole divided by 2. We also discuss that sine hyperbolic minus x, it is equal to minus sine hyperbolic x. But cosine hyperbolic minus x, it is equal to cosine hyperbolic x. So here now we move. After that, we discuss the derivative of the hyperbolic function. That is the derivative of sine hyperbolic x. It is equal to cosine hyperbolic x. Derivative of cosine hyperbolic x, sine hyperbolic x. Derivative of tan hyperbolic x, sec hyperbolic square x. Derivative of cotangent hyperbolic x minus cosec hyperbolic square x. Derivative of sec hyperbolic x minus sec hyperbolic x tan hyperbolic x. Derivative of cosec hyperbolic x minus cosec hyperbolic x cotangent hyperbolic x. That means we have find these six derivatives. After that, we have discussed inverse hyperbolic function. That is sine hyperbolic inverse x. It is equal to log natural x plus square root of 1 plus x square. After that, we discuss cosine hyperbolic x. It is equal to log natural x plus square root of x square minus 1. After that, we discuss tan hyperbolic inverse x. It is equal to 1 by 2 log natural 1 plus x divided by 1 minus x. After that, we discuss cotangent hyperbolic and cotangent hyperbolic inverse x. So 1 by 2 log natural x plus 1 divided by x minus 1. So similarly, we find the sec hyperbolic x. We also find the cosec hyperbolic inverse x. And in the last class, we have discussed the derivative of sine hyperbolic inverse x, derivative of cosine hyperbolic inverse x. So what is derivative of sine hyperbolic inverse x? It is equal to 1 divided by square root of 1 plus x square. Also, we discussed the derivative of cosine hyperbolic inverse x. That is equal to 1 divided by x square minus 1. Also, we discussed the derivative of tan hyperbolic inverse x, derivative of cotangent hyperbolic inverse x, derivative of sec hyperbolic inverse x, and derivative of cosec hyperbolic. So today we discuss the integral leading to the inverse hyperbolic functions. Integral leading to the inverse hyperbolic functions. So now if you see after that we solved the example. Now we move to the exercise. So if you see in our syllabus, we have to solve question number 1, question number 4, 5, and the remaining. So first we solve question number 1 from the exercise 7.7. What is 7.7 exercise? It is here you can see we have given sine hyperbolic x. Sine hyperbolic x, it is given. It is equal to minus 3 by 4. Sine hyperbolic x, it is equal to minus 3 by 4. 3 by 4. Minus 3 divided by 4. So, what is the question? Find the remaining 5 hyperbolic functions. It means find cosine hyperbolic x, then tan hyperbolic x, cotangent hyperbolic x, sec hyperbolic x, cosec hyperbolic x. So first, it is also given use this property. Use this property. What is the property? Cosine hyperbolic square x minus sine hyperbolic square x, it is equal to 1. Okay, I solve this on the top. So here we have to solve this cosine hyperbolic square x minus sine hyperbolic square x minus sine hyperbolic square x, it is equal to 1. Now if you see sine hyperbolic x, it is equal to minus 3 by 4. So what is square of minus 3 by 4? Student, square of, here I write inside the chatting, minus 3 by 4. Square of this, it is equal to what? Minus 3 by 4. Square of it is equal to what? Square of minus 3 by 4. It is equal to 9 by 16. So cosine hyperbolic square x minus 9 divided by 16. Minus 9 divided by 16. It is equal to 1. So cosine hyperbolic square x, it minus 9 divided by 16, it is equal to 1. It is equal to 1. So cosine hyperbolic square x minus 9 divided by 16, it is equal to 1. So here 9 by 16 we shift on the other side. 9 by 16 we shift on the other side. Thus we get cosine hyperbolic square x. Cosine hyperbolic square x, it is equal to 1 plus 9 by 16. 1 plus 9 by 16. Now here 1 plus 9 by 16, it is equal to what? 1 plus 9 by 16, it is equal to 25 by 16. 25 by 16. So here 9 by 16 plus 1, 25 by 16. So 25 by 16, we take square root on both sides. We take square root on both sides. So thus we get cosine hyperbolic x. Thus we get cosine hyperbolic x. It is equal to plus minus 5 divided by 4. 5 divided by 4. Plus minus 5 divided by 4. Okay, cosine hyperbolic x, it is equal to 5 divided by 4. 5 divided by, so here cosine hyperbolic x plus minus 5 divided by 4. So now we find out just one value. Now we can find the remaining value. How can we find? So here if we have to find tan hyperbolic x, so here I put cosine hyperbolic, so minus 3 by 4 divided by, now I take any value of this. Suppose I take positive value of cosine hyperbolic x, positive value, which is equal to 5 divided by 4, which is equal to 5 divided by 4. So when I take 5 divided by 4, so 4 cancel with this 4. What is remaining? Whenever 4 cancel with 4, what is remaining? Minus 3 by 4. So thus tan hyperbolic x, it is equal to minus 3 by 4. Tan hyperbolic x, it is equal to minus 3 by 4. Tan hyperbolic x, it is equal to tan hyperbolic x, it is equal to minus. So thus we get here, we cancel this. Now we can find the remaining. So what is, now we can find the remaining. So we get here sec, sine we get, cosine we get, tan we get. So from here we can find the remaining. So what are the remaining? Sec, say what is now cotangent? What is cotangent? 1 over tan, it is cotangent. Okay, 1 over tan, it is cotangent. So what will be the cotangent? Cotangent is minus 5 by 3. Minus 5 by 3. Minus 5 by 3. So if we have to find sec, so 1 over cos, yes, it is equal to minus 5 by 3. What is sec? Here cos is given. Cos is 5 by 4. Positive. What is sec? Abdullah Muhammad. Yes. Cos hyperbolic x, it is equal to, yes. So it is equal to, if cos is 5 by 4, so sec is 4 by 5. So what is cosec? Now here you can see sine is minus 3 by 4. Minus 3 by 4. Minus 3 by 4. It is sine is minus 3 by 4. So what is cosec? If sine is minus 3 by 4, what will be the cosec? So minus 4 by 3. Yes. So in this way, if we have just one value, we can find 5 different values. So here you can see we have just given the value of sine hyperbolic x, which is equal to minus 3 by 4. The value of sine is given, which is equal to minus 3 by 4. So by the use of property, which is cosine hyperbolic square x minus sine hyperbolic square x, it is equal to 1. We have we have we use this property and we find out the value of cosine hyperbolic square, which is 25 by 16. Then we take square root on both sides. So cosine hyperbolic y, it is equal to plus minus 5 by 4. So first we just take positive value. When we take positive value, so tan hyperbolic x minus 3 by 4, which is sine hyperbolic x, divided by cosine hyperbolic x, which is 5 by 4. So 4 cancel with 4. What's remaining? Minus 3 by 4. So that's tan hyperbolic is minus 3 by 4. Cotan, opposite of this, reciprocal of tan hyperbolic x. So minus 5 by 3. Now reciprocal of cosec, it is sec. So we have 4 by 5. Reciprocal of sec sine, it is cosec. So minus 4 by 3. This is for the positive value. If we take negative value, if we have cosine is negative value, because we have here two different options. If we have negative value, this negative will be cancelled with this negative. So tan will be 3 by 5. Tan will be 3 by 5. What is cotan? If tan is 3 by 5, what will be the cotan? Yes, Abdullah. If tan is 3 by 5, what is cotan? If we take negative value, so tan is now, yes, tan is 3 by 5, tan is 5 by 3. Similarly, cosec, we have cosine minus 5 by 4, so sec is minus 4 by 5. But the cosec will be the same. Cosec will be the same, which is minus 4 by 3. So similarly, we can find, if we have cos hyperbolic x, it is equal to 13 divided by 5. So but here we just have to take the positive value. Negative value, we neglect these. We will just take the positive value. Negative value we will not consider. So we will use the same things. Here you can see we have cos hyperbolic inverse x minus sine hyperbolic inverse x equal to 1. We use this property and we can find the remaining. Just doing the same steps, we can find the value of sine and sec, cosec and cotan. Now we move to the question number 5. Now we move to question number 5. You can see what is question number 5. It is 2 cosine hyperbolic log natural x. Here we have to simplify this. We have to simplify this. So here I solve this here. So we have now 2 cosine hyperbolic ln x. So what is the definition of cosine hyperbolic x? What is definition of cosine hyperbolic x? It is equal to e power x plus e power minus x divided by 2. E power x plus e power minus x divided by 2. I again repeat, e power x plus e power minus x divided by 2. So here we write 2 into e power x plus e power minus x divided by 2. So if we have here 2 cosine hyperbolic x, but we have here 2 cosine hyperbolic log natural x. That is why we write 2 cosine hyperbolic. So on the place of x we replace ln x. So ln x. So this will be e power ln x. So 2 the same because it is a constant. E power ln x plus e power minus ln x divided by 2. E power ln x plus e power minus ln x divided by 2. So e power ln x plus e power minus ln x divided by 2. So now we cancel 2 with the 2. Now we cancel 2 with the 2. What is remaining? We remaining just e power ln x. Here I write on the side plus we have now e power minus ln x. So we shift minus the terms of minus on the to the denominator. So it will becomes 1 divided by e power ln x. 1 divided by, so I write here 1 divided by e power ln x. Thus we get here x plus 1 over x. X divided by x plus 1 over x. X plus 1 over x. Yes. So now here, if we more simplify, we take the least common multiple. What is least common multiple? So here x square plus 1. X square plus 1 divided by x. X square plus 1 divided by x. This is our answer. This is our answer. So now after question number 5, we have to solve question number 15. Question number 15. What it is? So here from question number 13 to 24, we have to find the derivative of y with respect to the appropriate variable. We have to find the derivative of y with respect to appropriate. What is the meaning of appropriate? So here you can see y is a function of t. So we must have to find the derivative with respect to t. But if you see in question number 6, y is a function of x. So we have to take the derivative with respect to x. So now I solve here. Here on the top, I take derivative of y with respect to t. Derivative of y with respect to t. So now what is the derivative of y? It is 2 is a constant. It will go outside. We just find the derivative of the product by the product rule. So here first function same. It means t power 1 by 2 because the value of square root is 1 by 2. It is fixed. It is same. We find out the derivative of the second function. What is derivative of tan hyperbolic t power 1 by 2? It is sec hyperbolic square t power 1 by 2 dot derivative of angle. What is derivative of angle? It is 1 divided by 2 t power 1 by 2. This is the derivative of the angle. Plus, because we are using the product rule. So for product rule, we use positive. For quotient rule, we use negative. But for product rule, we use positive. Now, second function same. Second function same. We just find the derivative of the first function. What is derivative of t power 1 by 2? It is 1 over 2 t power 1 by 2. 1 over 2 t power 1 by 2. What is the same function? Tan hyperbolic t power 1 by 2. T power 1 by 2. So here, if you see, we cancel t power 1 by 2 with t power 1 by 2. Now whenever we product 2, so this 2 will be cancelled with this 2 and this 2. So what is remaining? What is remaining? The remaining is sec hyperbolic square t power 1 by 2 plus here plus t power plus in denominator we have t power 1 by 2. In the numerator tan hyperbolic t power 1 by 2. This is the answer. I again repeat, to solve question number 15. What is question number 15? Y is equal to 2 square root of t tan hyperbolic square root of t. Y is equal to 2 square root of t tan hyperbolic square root of t. So what we will do here, what we will do, so first of all we use the quotient rule. Okay, so quotient rule, sorry, we use the product rule. So 2 is a constant. We use the product rule. So 2 is a constant. It will go outside. So first function same, derivative of the second function. So 2 outside. First function t power 1 by 2 same, derivative of the second function. What is derivative of tan hyperbolic t power 1 by 2? It is sec hyperbolic square t power 1 by 2 dot derivative of the angle. So dot 1 by 2 t power 1 by 2 dot 1 by 2 t power 1 by 2 plus now the second function same, derivative of the first function. What is derivative of t power 1 by 2? It is 1 divided by 2 t power 1 by 2. So that is why t power 1 by 2 will be cancelled with t power 1 by 2. So What is remaining now? And 2 will be cancelled with 2. Just we have sec hyperbolic square t power 1 by 2 plus tan hyperbolic t power 1 by 2 uh, divided by t power 1 by 2. Okay. After that, after this question, we have to solve question number 17. 17. What it is? You can see. We have y is equal to log natural sine hyperbolic x. Y is equal to log natural sine hyperbolic x. Y is equal to log natural sine hyperbolic x. For this case, now if I ask you, what is the derivative of what is the derivative of log natural x? Abdullah, what is the derivative of log natural x? And the remaining student, what is the derivative of log natural x? What is the derivative of log natural x? Derivative of log natural x, it is equal to derivative of log natural x, it is equal to 1 over x. Now here we have log natural, what is the, on the place of x we have sine hyperbolic z. So that is why we have first we have to take the derivative with respect to z. So dy over dz, dy over dz, it is equal to 1 over sine hyperbolic z. 1 over sine hyperbolic z dot derivative of sine hyperbolic z dot derivative of sine hyperbolic z, which is equal to cosine hyperbolic z. Derivative of sine hyperbolic z, it is equal to cosine hyperbolic z. So now 1 over sine hyperbolic z dot cosine hyperbolic z, it is equal to cos hyperbolic z over sine hyperbolic z. So I write on the side cos hyperbolic z divided by sine hyperbolic z. It is equal to what? Student, cos hyperbolic z divided by sine hyperbolic z. Yes, any student. Cos over sine, it is equal to what? Yes, it is equal to cot hyperbolic z. It is equal to cot hyperbolic z. This is the answer. I again repeat, we have here L on the place of what is the question? Y is equal to Ln sine hyperbolic z. Y is equal to Ln sine hyperbolic z. So here we use the derivative of ln x, which is equal to 1 over x dot derivative of x with respect to x, which is 1. So here 1 over sine hyperbolic x z dot derivative of sine hyperbolic z, it is equal to cosine hyperbolic z. Thus we get cosine hyperbolic z over cosine hyperbolic z, it is equal to cotangent hyperbolic z. So cotangent hyperbolic z, this is the answer. After that, we have to solve question number uh, question number 35. Question number 35. We have to solve question number 35. What is question number 35? Yeah, y is equal to sine hyperbolic inverse x. Sine hyperbolic inverse, what is the angle? Angle is tan x. Sine hyperbolic inverse and tan x. So here, y is equal to, here you can see sine hyperbolic inverse tan x. Sine hyperbolic inverse tan x. So here, whenever we take, so now we take the derivative. Now we take the derivative. dy over dx. We take the derivative. Now what is derivative of sine hyperbolic inverse x? Student, in the last class we have studied, it is equal to 1 divided by square root of 1 plus x square. So on the place of x, we replace tan x. On the place of x, we replace tan x. Thus we get 1 divided by square root of 1 plus, yes, 1 divided by square root of 1 plus tan square x dot derivative of the angle also, tan square x dot derivative of the angle. What is derivative of the angle? What is derivative of tan x? It is equal to sec square x. Derivative of the angle, it is here. For this case, we have, yes, we have here sec square x. Now we all know that 1 plus tan square x, 1 plus tan square x, it is equal to, now here you can see sec square x divided by, we all know that 1 plus tan square x, it is equal to sec square x. It is equal to sec square x. So this will be cancelled with this. It means square will be cancelled with jazar. So what is remaining here? In the numerator we have sec square. Numerator we have sec square x. In the denominator, yes, we have sec x. So thus the answer is square will be cancelled with this. We get sec x. Yes, Abdullah, you are correct. Okay, sec x. So in this way, I again repeat, we have here y is equal to sine hyperbolic inverse x. Y is equal to, okay, so y is equal to sine hyperbolic inverse, y is equal to sine hyperbolic inverse tan x. So that is why we use the definition of sine hyperbolic inverse x whenever we take derivative. So what is derivative of sine hyperbolic inverse x? It is equal to 1 divided by square root of 1 plus x square. 1 divided by square root of 1 plus x square. So dot derivative of tan x, it is equal to sec square x. Derivative of tan x, it is equal to sec square x. Thus we also know that 1 plus tan square x, it is equal to sec square x. Now sec square cancel with the jazzer. So sec square divided by sec square, it is equal to sec x. So after that, after this question, we have question number 45 in our syllabus. Question number 45. What it is? It is equal to integral of uh, square root of t, integral of sec square root of t tan square root of t dt divided by t square root. So we solve this by the substitution method. We solve this by the substitution method. How can we solve the substitution method? Let u is equal to t power 1 by 2 or t square. Okay, u is equal to t power 1 by 2. Now what will be the numerator? You can see it is equal to sec hyperbolic u tan hyperbolic u, and in denominator we have, you can see, we just wait. So here we take the derivative of this. So du over dt. Now what is derivative of t power? What is derivative of t power 1 by 2? It is equal to 1 divided by 2 t power 1 by 2. So thus du over dt, it is equal to 1 divided by 2 t power 1 by 2. So from here, what is now 2 du equal to here 1 over t power 1 by 2 dt. One over t power 1 by 2 dt. Thus if you see, we have given 1 divided by t power 1 by 2, because square of t, it is equal to square root of t, it is equal to t power 1 by 2. Thus we get here the given integral. If you see, thus the given integral will be converted into this integral, will be converted into this way. So here it is equal to 2 square root of 2 square root of sec hyperbolic u tan hyperbolic u du. So sec hyperbolic u tan hyperbolic u du. Okay, so here if it is 2 sec hyperbolic u tan hyperbolic u. Now what is antiderivative of sec hyperbolic u tan hyperbolic u? What is sec hyperbolic u tan hyperbolic u? So here you can see, we know that it is equal to minus sec hyperbolic u. So that is why we have minus 2 sec hyperbolic u plus constant, because we are dealing with the antiderivative. We are dealing with the indefinite integral. Now what is u? What is u? What do we suppose u? U is equal to t power 1 by 2. Thus we get minus 2 sec hyperbolic, yes, sec hyperbolic t power 1 by 2 plus constant. So here minus 2 sec hyperbolic t power 1 by 2 plus constant. So yeah, after that we have to solve question number 55. Question number 55. So here you can see it is the definite integral. Question number 55. It is the definite integral from minus pi by 4 to pi by 4. We also solve this question. We also solve this question by the substitution method. We also solve this question by the substitution method. How can we solve? We suppose let u is equal to tan theta. U is equal to tan theta. Let u is equal to tan theta. Now what is the derivative of tan theta? Student, what is the derivative of tan theta? It is equal to sec square theta. Derivative of tan theta, yes, it is equal to sec square theta. So du over d theta, here d theta it is equal to sec square theta. Sec square theta d theta. So here d theta we shift on this side. So it is equal to sec square theta d theta. So now you can see sec square theta d theta, it is equal to du. What is tan theta? It is equal to u. Thus here we get cosine u du. Cosine u, thus the given integral cosine u du. Now we put upper limit and lower limit. So here in u we put theta is equal to pi by 4 and minus pi by 4. So whenever here tan minus pi by 4, tan minus pi by 4, tan minus 45. So it is minus 1. Tan minus 45, it is equal to minus 1. Tan 45, it is equal to 1. So thus we have the lower limit is minus 1, upper limit is 1. Lower limit is minus 1, upper limit is 1. So thus we get the following. Yeah, it means our integral is from minus 1 to 1 cosine hyperbolic u. Cosine hyperbolic u du. Cosine hyperbolic u du. Now what is antiderivative of cosine hyperbolic u? What is antiderivative of cosine hyperbolic u? Cosine hyperbolic, it is sine hyperbolic u. Antiderivative of cosine hyperbolic u, sine hyperbolic u. Now lower limit is minus 1, upper limit is 1. Now first we put upper limit. So it is equal to sine hyperbolic 1 minus sine hyperbolic inverse 1. Sine hyperbolic minus 1. So it is the property of the sine. It repels negative outside. Sine repels negative outside. So thus we get here sine hyperbolic 1 plus sine hyperbolic 1. So thus we get 2 sine hyperbolic 1. This is the answer. 2 sine hyperbolic 1. This is our answer. I again repeat this question. So here you can see we have cos hyperbolic sec square theta d, and what is the limit is from minus pi by 4 to pi by minus pi by 4. So here, so whenever minus pi by 4 to pi by 4, so yeah, whenever we use this minus pi by 4 to pi by 4, so we solve it by the substitution method. Let u is equal to tan theta. Now derivative of tan theta is equal to 6 square theta. we put upper limit. First we put lower limit, then we put upper limit. So whenever we put lower limit, so it is equal to -1, upper limit is 1. Thus we get cosine u du. Its antiderivative is sine hyperbolic u. So first upper limit minus lower limit. So first whenever we put upper limit, so sine hyperbolic 1 plus sine hyperbolic 1. So 2 sine hyperbolic 1. So this is the answer of our question. So student, this is our today class. In next class, we shall start chapter 18. If you have any question, please ask your question. Yes, please ask. Doctor, can you send for us the exercise of 5.6 and 5? It means you need chapter or solution manual. Uh, okay, give me uh, your email address. I send you 5 point, and in the next class I shall share you the both 7.5 and 7, or maybe two. I shall send you 7.5 and 7.7. Okay, I have not yet, but 5.6 I solved it. Okay, just wait 1 minute. Yes, of course, 7.5 is between 7.7. No, 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 no. It is 7.5 is between 7.7 and 4.7. So in the exam, chapter 7, chapter 5, and chapter 4. Okay. So in the next, it means tomorrow I sent this 5.6. I sent. Okay. You can check, Abdul Aziz. You can check. So uh, tomorrow I shall send you 5.5, sorry, 7.5 and 7.7 solution manual, inshallah. Okay. Yes, is there any other question? If you have any question, please ask the question. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. If you want to leave, you can leave. Thank you so much.